Today I'm going to be making a famous dish called dolma, also known as stuffed grape leaves. The only difference is that I'm not going to be only stuffing grapes. I'm going to be using different vegetables. This is the way that it's done in Iraq. It's a very different way. Let's go over the ingredients of the dolma. First, I have the rice that we're going to be using today. This is jasmine rice. Sometimes I use basmati, but this is what I had and it should work fine. I soaked it for about an hour just so the grains get soft. And then of course clean it and drain it, and then rinse it and drain it from the water, from all the excess water, which is right here. I'm also going to be using two types of meat. There's lamb, ground meat, and there's beef. The reason I have two types because it gives a really nice flavor when you mix two types of meat. So I'm going to be using maybe about half of this. This is a pound, so maybe half of this and just a quarter of this, so there'll be more lamb than the beef. And I'm also going to be using the green fava beans, which is used in the Iraqi dolma. This can be found in any Middle Eastern or Mediterranean store, and it comes in a packaging like this. So they come frozen, so it's best to take it out ahead of time so defrost. I'm going to be using the whole bag today for my dolma, and the veggies that I'm going to be using are green peppers. I already cut open one. Basically I just take a knife and carefully cut around so you have a lid, then you take out all the extra fillings inside, because we're going to need this to stuff our rice and meat mix later on. And then I'm going to cover it with this lid. So I'm going to, don't throw away the lid, I'm going to keep it because I want to cover it so everything stays into place. I'm also using tomatoes, the same thing. This time I just cut so it's still attached, and carefully open it with a spoon. You can just scoop it out. So this is what was in the tomatoes, and I just took everything out. Of course, all the stuff like this I'm going to use, so nothing is really going to waste. I'm going to put that into my mix. And I'm also going to be using onions. So these are perfect size, and I already, took out I cleaned it, so I'm gonna cut it open this way, long way, but not all the way, just enough halfway through, and then boil it for about 5 minutes so it becomes really lean and loose, and then you can easily shell the onions layer by layer. And we're gonna, 3 onions is plenty. You're gonna stuff each layer. Some people like to use eggplants and other vegetables, so it's totally up to you. And of course we're using grape leaves, also from Middle Eastern or Mediterranean store or local supermarket. Sometimes they have it in the ethnic section. And that's the veggies. So we got the rice, the meat, and the veggies, and then we're gonna move on to the spices and extra ingredients. So this is for the stuffing. I'm going to use chopped garlic. So I've chopped it really fine. Okay, I'm gonna go. I used this one clove. It was a big size, and then chopped onion. Also, maybe half a small onion. That's enough. And this is chopped parsley, fresh parsley that I got yesterday. And I have chopped dill. Dill is very important in this dish because it gives a really amazing flavor and enhances the smell of the dish. So it's really important to have dill. If you're wondering what the potato is, I'm going to actually slice it up and then put it later on the very bottom of my pot. That way the vegetables don't burn. And I'm going to use lemon juice. So not lime, lemon juice. Make sure you get the lemon juice. This is already open. I have a bit half, so I'm going to use this first. And tomato paste. Okay, we're going to use that in the mix. This is about 2 tablespoons oil. I just use a regular vegetable or canola oil. It doesn't really matter. You don't want to use olive oil, so it's better vegetable oil. And the spices I'm using, I have salt, about maybe a teaspoon of salt, and I have black pepper. Here we have cumin, no, not cumin, the curry mix, so it's a curry powder of different mixes, turmeric, and then I have a little bit of paprika, and this really gives it a kick. So I'm going to mix all that into my ingredients. So now that we have all the ingredients, let's go ahead and get started with the mix. Okay, so now we're gonna start mixing all our ingredients. I already have the rice here, and I have lamb, and then the beef. And so I'm gonna start adding what I have over here. So we have the chopped garlic. I'm gonna add that in here. Then we have the chopped onions. I'm gonna also add that in here. Chopped parsley. And the dill. I'm also gonna add all my spices all at once, so they're all gonna get mixed. Oil. Tomato paste. Now it doesn't really matter how much you put, depends on, you know, your preference. So I'm just gonna put maybe 2, and later you can always add if you want more. I also have this leftover lemon juice. I'm gonna add that on here. And also the lemon juice, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it depends on how you like it. So you can always taste as you go. I'm also gonna add, this was from the tomato, so I'm gonna add that in here, just to kind of flavor it up. If you have big chunks, you can cut them up, because again, we're using this for the mix, so the big pieces might be difficult to work with. Okay, so now you have everything you need. Make sure that your hands are clean and you don't have any jewelry on, because we're gonna, you know, dig in there. So I'm gonna mix everything together. I'm gonna marry all the ingredients together. At this point, you should start smelling all the flavors that are the aroma, the dill. It should have like a reddish color because of the paste, so I might actually add, just because I want that flavor and that color. So I'm gonna mix it. Mix it, and just keep mixing. Okay, now that we have our mix, we are gonna start stuffing the vegetables.